This is a very precious piece of paper to me. When I first came to the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living and heard honoring of the faiths, I knew I had found my home. And I've kept this piece of paper from the first time that I stood up on the stage, honored to read this. And so from this precious piece of paper for me, I would like to share with you the honoring of all paths of faith. So here we go. My name is Susan Elizabeth Espinosa, and I am a practitioner in training at the Centers for Spiritual Living in Camarillo. Here at the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living, we are actively co-creating a world that evolves through the power of service, prayer, and play. A world that works for everyone. We celebrate all paths that lead to the recognition of the divine. We honor shamanism as a path of the inward journey and soul travel. We honor Hinduism as a path of recognizing the divine in each person. We honor Judaism as a path of law. We honor Taoism as a path of recognizing the perfect order and balance of the universe. We honor Buddhism as a path of compassion and peace. We honor Christianity as a path of love and forgiveness. We honor Islam as a path of constant prayer. We honor Baha'i as a path recognizing the oneness of all religion. We honor New Thought as a path of healing and the power of the mind. And we honor you and the path that brought you here today.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Reverend Kristen Kephart, and I'm the Spiritual Director and Senior Minister here. Currently, we are 100% virtual, which means all of our offerings are online. So if you've been with us for 45 years or today is your first time, please check out our website for the most up-to-date current information. When you're out on our website, you can also sign up for our newsletter if you like to receive weekly notifications of what's going on. Next up is Jennifer Russell and Michael Gale. So please join us in singing our congregational song, Opening Up in Sweet Surrender. Take it away.
Good morning, Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living. We are so delighted to be with you today. I'm Jennifer.
I'm Michael.
Let's start by singing I Am Opening Up in Sweet Surrender. You ready?
I'm ready.
I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of Lord. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of Lord. I am opening. I am opening. join me by just putting your hands on your heart. That sweet surrender of the love light right here within your heart. The beloved presence I am. I love you. I adore you. I appreciate my journey. Let's open our hearts and our hands to each other. I bless you. I love you. I am so grateful for you. Namaste.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I am so glad that we can be together. My name is Susan Elizabeth Espinosa, and a very proud prayer practitioner in training here for the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living. And I'm really honored to be able to share with you our very special affirmation for the day. You know, affirmations are so important because they really focus the power and the presence of the One right into your life. And so the more often you say these very empowering words and get them into your soul, just the better things are. And so let's do that right now. So I invite you just to relax and receive. Say along with me. We're going to do it 3 times, the affirmation for today. I relax and behold God's grace unfolding as my life. Let's do that again. I relax and behold God's grace unfolding as my life. One more time and really feel it. I relax and behold God's grace unfolding as my life. Breathe it in and out, and let those good words settle into you for this day. So it is. And so now let's go into prayer. I do want to add to the altar today, turning on light for those that were affected by the incident in Boulder. A light of love, light of peace, light of unity, the light of truth. And so let's go into prayer, relaxing yourself into this moment, breathing in and breathing out, and just centering in to this moment now, and recognize that there is only and ever one thing happening, and that is God. That is the divine presence, the one mind. That is all of the God qualities that show up in my life, like beauty, joy, wisdom, truth, balance. All of these good things are God things, and I am so very grateful to know that I am one with God. That every single cell of my body, with every breath in and out, is lighted up with the presence of the One, and it just feels good. I can speak my word on this and this blessing that we're doing today for our service and for each other and for our beautiful center and for the world, because I know I'm one with the One, and there's such deep gratitude within me for that. And so I bless this day. I bless this moment. I bless this service. I bless Reverend Kristen, because she says always what is upon her heart to share. And she shares truth and beauty and wisdom and joy, creativity, and all of these beautiful God qualities that are within her are also within you and within me. And these are blessings to be shared in our lives. And so I say thank you and bless Reverend Kristen's message for us today, because it is exactly what I need to hear, and what you need to hear, and what the world needs to hear. It is perfect for this day. I speak a blessing into the music. Oh my, it is always so joyful and makes my heart sing to hear Jennifer and Michael share their love through music, share their presence of the one through the music. And so I bless this and say thank you. I bless you and all aspects of your life. There is nothing but goodness in your health, in your finances, in your relationships. There's all of the God qualities present right there, wherever you walk, because it's within you and within me. We can never repeat them enough. Truth, beauty, kindness, balance, peace, creativity, strength, unity. It is in you, it is in me, and everywhere you step upon this planet, within your life and in your community, you are a living, breathing blessing. And it says thank you to the world, and thank you. And I thank you. I bless this technology because it allows us to come together no matter what, no matter where, and no matter when, to be with one another in community. And I say thank you. And so I close this prayer knowing that I am fully anchored in peace and love, and so are you. And know that everywhere you go in your life, and those that you touch, those that you speak with, those that you interact with here on Zoom or in technology, that you are a living blessing in this world. I release this good prayer right into the universe, and together we say, and so it is.
I am a center of creation. You are a center of creation. We are centers of creation. Absolutely. Join us if you know the song. I am a center of creation. I am a seed planted in stillness. I am a center of creation. Fertile ground for the highest thoughts of God. I am a center of creation. I am a tree rooted in fullness. I am a center of creation. Fertile ground for the highest thoughts of God. I am a center of creation. I am complete, living in wholeness. I am a center of creation. Fertile ground for the highest thoughts of God. I am a center of creation. You are a center of creation. We are a center of creation.
Hi, Reverend Kristen here. It's so lovely to be here with you. This whole month we've been talking about visioning, how to do it, what it is, how to come up with and live from that place of your higher self. And I would like to take a little trip back in time. So in August 2019, I was a consultant and I was driving from client site to client site. And this one week I was having a difficult time breathing. But I said, oh, it's just because of the fires. I don't know if you're from California, but if you can go back to the station fires. So the air quality was pretty tough, and I was using my inhaler quite a bit. And I spent most of my time in the client site where I just went and got there in the morning. I brought my lunch so I didn't have to go out, and then home. Then 2 days later, I was at another client site, a client site where their parking lot is guarded and locked. So you park one on top of each other, and then guards watch your car all day. And no, I wasn't doing computer software to watch the Hope Diamond. That's a story for a different time. Anyway, when I left that evening, I got into my car and it was a tight squeeze, and I pulled my backpack across me like this and put it in my seat. And it felt like I twisted my back. So let's go forward. It's about 7:30 at night. I get home and the pain is excruciating. So I tell my family I'm just going to go lay down. Well, the pain got worse and worse and worse, and I just was in denial. I denied and said, it's the bad air quality, and again, I twisted my back, etc. So the next day, I had an ultimatum. Family was either going to call 911 or I could go at my own accord and go to the doctor's office. So I did, and again, I was in denial. So as the day goes on and testing happens, it turns out that I have a pulmonary embolism. And a pulmonary embolism, if you don't know, it's when a blood clot that typically starts deep in your veins or in your legs or arms, it breaks free and travels towards your lungs. Once the clot reaches the lungs, the patient experiences extreme chest pain and a high chance of cardiac arrest. As the day went on and more tests were done, it turns out that they diagnosed what it was, got me in the hospital, took away all my electronics, and I, for the first time, probably ever, I had to deal with just myself. There was no other distractions. And I was in the hospital for, 4 days, 5 days, something like that. And I'm grateful that I survived and I'm here. And I also want to say it's probably the most amazing experience in my spiritual growth that I've ever had. So you're probably asking me, what is all of that? Why is she telling this story? What does it have to do with visioning? Visioning is about personal transformation. So we're transformed through the practice of opening ourselves to avenues of awareness and being receptive to the divine love, intelligence, and the wisdom within. When we've done visionings together and we talk about going within and asking Spirit for your highest idea of you, it dawned on me that some of us, including me at one time, were listening for something that's outside of ourselves. And I'm here today to clear all that up and let you know that it is all already within you. You are divine, wisdom-filled, full of love and balance and compassion. You already have that within you. What seems to get in the way is our ego. Our ego stops us or tells us things that aren't true, or just continues to go down that road, so we give up. So I'm in the hospital. Again, nothing to distract me. And I am with myself. And I start going within. I start listening to, once I get past, again, my ego of I'm going to lose my job, or I'm so needed in San Diego today and here I'm stuck in the hospital. Getting to a point where just not looking outside of myself, but being with myself and trying to come to an agreement where I can let go, where I can surrender to what's happening. Ernest Holmes had this to say: we are taking, I trust, a vision, something beyond a hope and a longing, that the living Spirit shall through us walk anew into its own creation, a new glory come with the dawn. It's already there. It's always been there. It's us tapping into it and letting it flow. So as I was going through this experience, I was sad, I was angry, I was devastated, and at the same time I was full of joy and balance, and I was just living almost in these two different worlds. And Jamie Lula has a song, and I'm going to just read some lyrics, because this is where, this really kind of captures where I was. So if God is everything and everywhere that I belong, Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep, and everybody sang, something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever been before. That to me is so beautiful and so moving, because take me deeper, use me, use my hands, use me and show me what I'm to do. This leads us to our brains. Yes, brains, plural. So we have our head brain, and our head brain stores and processes information. We have our left side of our brain that handles all the analytical and the data kind of things going on and major decisions, etc. Our right side of our brain is creative, and it's the arty side of the brain. I recognize I'm oversimplifying all of this. But both these sides of our brains retrieves information from our body, so it takes care of our body's functions. Where it also sends it to is our gut and our heart, and you can look up this and check it out in more detail. But your gut, if you think about it, is that inner knowing place. It receives information from the environment, so what's around you, and then it interprets it. Have you ever been in a situation where you're making a big decision, or you're trying to decide if you should go and do something new, and then all of a sudden you get this pain? Well, if you breathe into that and really ask what's going on, is it related to this apprehension of this new thing? Is it something that I should listen to? And I say, absolutely yes. When I listen to my gut, it does not fail me. So if that's really off balance, then it's like the message is going back and forth that is not, choose something else. For me, it means choose something else or do it in a different way. And I work through it until that feeling subsides. And lastly, there's the heart brain. So it feels and knows and senses information that's going on in the world and from the environment. And it's in connection with our heart brain and our brain on our head. And it's constantly working in this almost symphony kind of way, this beautiful harmony when we're clicked in, that my head and my gut and heart are all connected in this mechanical body of mine. Well, when all of those are in synchronicity and working in order, there's this thing called mind, which is spirit. So it sends information to each of those centers as we need them. We hear from spirit from this center, and it speaks to spirit. And I go back to, I'm talking about many different things, but we're only one thing. I'm trying to narrow it down so it makes sense of what's happening. So for me, I believe that this health issue that I had actually broke my heart wide open. Like broke it open to the point where all of a sudden all of these new sensory that I never really focused on before were awake, really, really awake. And I could go past my ego, go past that, and then have these amazing internal conversations with spirit, going through and asking the question, what's my highest? What am I supposed to do? Which then was groundbreaking for me because it took me to a completely new path. What I thought was my career forever turned out to be a job for me. And really, I was, by committing to this transformation and moving forward and implementing what I received from spirit, that turned into my life's work. For me, this was a big shoe to step into. I was apprehensive at times. I was exhausted at times. I was exhilarated at times. And it was all new and all different. And I couldn't get enough information and absorb it in to get a better understanding, to get a better growing this relationship that I ignored or I stuffed down for 40 plus years. Stuffing it down to a point where spirit is always there. Spirit is always within us. We are made up of that perfection. It's us personally revealing that within us to allow it to come out, to allow my relationship to grow with spirit, to allow my relationship with my brothers and sisters and siblings, to allow myself to shine out there and be working on my life's work. So that's where the passion comes in. That's where the calling comes in and the direction is going back and doing this process or because they're not mutually exclusive, doing my spiritual work. So it's spiritual work can be meditation, it can be reading to continue, because we never get to the destination. It's all about walking through this thing called life and it amplifying into more beauty and more beauty and more beauty and balance every single day. To stand in that and be that and making a difference in this world. So your spiritual work can come many, many different ways. It can, like I said, reading, coming to Sunday service. For the first 9 years of me being involved with Science of Mind, I signed up for one class, showed up on 1 week, and then dropped it. It took me 9 years of coming every Sunday, hearing the message, getting pumped up, or getting an idea for me to work on during the week. I would go back to my other life and then start it all over again on Sunday. And for me, my commitment in order to transform to the degree that I've set out, or that goal of living in a world that works for everyone, and that my actions add or take away from that idea, that I had to get into classes. I had to get into classes and have these deep conversations with people, and people that I didn't necessarily agree with, but have the conversation to get an understanding, a well-rounded understanding of what I thought was an understanding. It was just merely a little piece of the pie, because spirit continues to evolve every day. It's continuously evolving. I'm continuously spiraling up to my next best. And that requires a commitment. And really, this commitment isn't painful. It's not like I'm signing a contract over for the rest of my life. Actually, I am, but I'm doing it with so much love and so much joy, and my conviction that it's easy. That it's easy for me to do that. After I got out of the hospital, I started to become an avid walker, because the last thing that I wanted was my body to slow down enough to create another clot. And a lot of that's just made up in my mind, but those are the things that I needed to do to walk through this very scary time that I took as a very scary time, but also, again, very exhilarating. And some people have pulmonary embolisms and return to normal the next day. Mine was earth-shattering. The physical pain from it lasted quite a while. The pain of, I could feel the blood clots that had accumulated at the base of my lung. So there were physical things going on in my body, and I wanted to do whatever I could to get this body temple working so it can be in touch, because now everything's awake, in touch with my mind, my heart, and my gut. And I'd go to this park and walk. And as I was going through this, I became very clear that what's important to me is for us to live in unity, for humans and animals to live in a place where we're all valued, to live in a place where we're all treated with kindness and respect, that no one is better than or less than another. So I did this walk, and one of the other things that I valued at the time was my coffee ritual. So I open my eyes and I start to notice that there's a man every day in the same place, and he is struggling, or it appears that he's struggling to get his basic needs met. So one day something within me called and said, speak. So I went up and I introduced myself, and I talked about, my love for coffee, and did he love coffee? And his answer was, yes. And I said, well, I'd be more than happy to bring you a mug in the morning, and then you can just drink it and put it on my tailgate when you're done, and I'll do that same thing next day. And he's like, really? I said, yeah, I could do that. So I said, well, what do you want in it? Do black, cream, sugar? And he's like, oh, anyway. And I'm like, no, this is about you. What would you like? Let's get it so you enjoy it to its fullest. So he tells me. And then we start this relationship in a way. I'd get out of my car, put his mug on my bumper of my car. I sometimes would see him and I sometimes wouldn't. And I told him if there's a day that the mug's not on there, that like ends our contract, and that I know he doesn't want to do it anymore. So we have this agreement. And I did it because I wanted to do it. I did it because I believe all people should have their basic needs met. And I was doing this act not for any other means other than I felt it was a kind act. A kind act to be able to engage with someone and not make a big deal out of it. So that story, the story about the coffee, I share that just because that is such a small act, a small random act that changed both of us. So with visioning, with all of this, we don't need to make something happen. We don't make it happen. We simply rest in the awareness that the vision is being revealed is already complete. We're just opening up our brains. In my case, I'm opening up that heart space and activating it. So when I go within and I do the meditation and the visioning process, I use my imagination of this cave of my heart, of walking past all the ego and setting it aside, all the judgment of self, all the judgment of everybody else, and recognizing that that time is simply and most magnificently for that conversation with my higher self. So I don't spend a whole bunch of time giving that away to my ego. And that has been something that over the years that it's gotten easier to get past. Some days it's like the ego's wall's right there. And those are the days where I go, oh, I didn't get a lot from visioning. Nothing really came through. No big deal. You can't fail. You don't fail at talking to your inner self. You're not failing at trying to build a relationship with spirit. It's just an off day. So we commit to this transformation, whether it's a struggle or it's ease, and that we're willing, that's the biggest thing, willing to do our spiritual work. Our spiritual work about releasing and embracing, releasing stuff that is holding us back from our highest and best. Getting a glimpse of what that is. And then at the end of the day, we are at choice whether or not we want to step forward or not. So we become instruments for the divine. It's almost like a beautiful symphony. This beautiful symphony of this music that just rocks my heart. So we simply learn how to be. We learn how to listen. We learn how to determine on whether or not we act upon something. We become the instrument of the divine. We let God, we let Spirit, I let Spirit work through me and as me. And that is how I show up, and I'm able to fulfill my purpose, or you're able to fulfill your purpose. So the takeaway here is for us to engage with ourselves and listen, to engage with ourselves at this level, whether it's visioning or meditation, to allow and let go of things so Spirit can love us up. And then for us to realize how amazing we are and how intricate we are and what gifts that we bring the gifts that we bring to this world to continue to work towards a world that works for everyone. So my question for you is, what is calling you? Is something calling you deeper? It's been great being with you today. Please know that you're loved, honored, and seen here at the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living. And until next time, love ya. Let's go into prayer. Take a deep breath. Allow yourself to put your feet on the floor, get grounded, keep your eyes open or closed, doesn't matter. Prayer works either way. And I just settle in and I recognize and I state that I am so full of gratitude, that gratitude is my attitude, or my attitude is gratitude. I am so grateful to be able to be here and speak on this beautiful day. So I know that spirit is everywhere. It is 24/7. There is not a place that spirit's not. And I open to that and I embrace that and I love the idea of that. I open myself up to be able to feel it, sense it, smell it. And all of the qualities and all of the things that make and spirit divine, I take in and embrace for myself. For I know that I am a child of spirit. So I come equipped with all of the divinity. All of the divinity within me is in me. I don't have to look outward. It is in me. I explore and expand and reveal that. So I speak my word today knowing that each and every person is actively connecting with their brain, their gut, and their heart. And connecting to that space, that thing that everything comes together, and it is the mind. It is the one thing, the only thing that there is. I speak and know that everyone right here and right now, all of their needs are met. That I have an abundance of friendships, that my relationships are golden. My relationships are golden because I commit to the transformation of myself, and then I reflect back those relationships that I desire. Abundance, that money flows easily and effortlessly in all ways to and through me. I receive in and I gift out. I continue that law and continue to keep it in motion. And I know for our body temples that they are working in divine right order. That I engage, I am my own advocate when it comes to my health. That I ask and understand and am a part of the next highest and best thing for myself. And I'm speaking these words and I know that that's true for me, so in turn it is true for you. It feels so good to be able to speak the words and let it be done in the mind of God. To let it be done, that knowing that my prayer is already in action, that I can simply let it go and let it be, for it is already in motion. Hallelujah. I see it, I live it, I love it, I am it. It is. How good is that? I let it go and I lay everything on the altar. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
This part of our service, it's about giving. It's about conscious giving, giving to places that spiritually feed us. So here at the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living, we are a 5013C, which means all of your donations are tax deductible. At this time, our income is completely made up of donations, tithes, and gifts from people like you.
in preparing your gift for today, let's bless it with this affirmation. Are you ready? Here we go. This gift I give is God in action. I send it forth with joy, confidence, and ease. I am blessed by the law of giving and receiving as I now share my good with life, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And if you are wondering how you can donate or do donos to the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living, we have multiple ways. You can send checks to our P.O. Box. We have a text to give option, PayPal as well. All of those links are down below. And if you're interested in signing up for electronic tithing, please contact our office and we'd be more than happy to discuss it with you, send you the forms, and get you set up. I am so grateful for you. I am so grateful that we can continue on giving out from the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living because of people like you. We are blessed, and thank you. And so it is.
It has been glorious to be with you today. Let's celebrate as we close this service with something wonderful is happening through me, through you, through us right now. Yeah?
Yeah.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now. Something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. Something wonderful. It's happening through my mind. It's happening through my body. Right here in my heart. I let it be. Something wonderful. Something wonderful. Something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening through you right now. Something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening through you right now. Something wonderful. It's happening through your mind. It's happening through your body. Right here in your heart. So let it be. Something wonderful. Something wonderful. Something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening through us right now. Something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening through us right now. Something wonderful. It's happening through our minds. It's happening through our bodies. Right here in our hearts. And we let it be. Something wonderful. Something wonderful. Something wonderful. Something wonderful.